Night, composed by Wole Soyinka, is one of the African poems in the WAEC 2026 to 2030 syllabus. I've earlier presented a comprehensive analysis of this poem on this channel. So if you need the link to that video, you can make your request to the comment section and the link will be sent to you. So it's on this note, I welcome you to your favorite platform on YouTube, Literature Hub 247, the gateway to understanding literature in English. So this particular video is about a Waec-standard question on night. A Waec-standard question on night. Please, before we go to the classroom, I want to introduce one of my ebooks to you. So this book contains 200 Waec-style questions and the model answers. It contains 200 Waec-standard questions with the model answers, and the questions are based on 2026 to 2030 Waec syllabus. Also, we follow strictly the Waec guidelines and marking scheme while answering the question. So I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video for you to download. I will leave the link in the description of the video for you to download. That is at the end of the class. So let's go to the classroom. The question here says, how does the poet's diction convey the oppressive presence of night? How does the poet's diction convey the oppressive presence of night? Let's look at the question, if there is any literary device there for us to explain. So we can see that we have diction. Diction is a literary device. So we need to explain this literary device, relate the question to a relevant theme, and then answer the question. So that is how to go about it. So diction refers to the poet's deliberate choice of words and expressions to create meaning, mood, and effect in a literary way. That is, a poet's choice of words. It includes the vocabulary, tone, and style of language used. In poetry, diction is central to shaping the reader's perception of themes and emotions. Soyinka emphasizes the theme of human vulnerability in the face of overwhelming natural and metaphysical forces. That is relating the question to a relevant theme there. So night is not a neutral backdrop but an active. Night is not a neutral backdrop but an active, threatening agent whose oppressive presence is heard in every chosen word. That is the words that are used by the poet there. The vocabulary of heaviness, sharpness, haunting, and undoing underscores the inevitability of human surrender to powers greater than oneself. That is, when a human being surrenders to the power of the night. So Soyinka's diction throughout the poem is heavy, intense, and often unsettling. The choice of words conveys night not as a calm or peaceful experience, but as an oppressive force that weighs down, drains, and even threatens the speaker. There are words of weight and pressure in the poem. Let's go from the poem. Your hand is heavy, night, upon my brow. The adjective heavy immediately conveys burden and oppression. You understand when you say something is heavy, that means we don't have the power to contain that thing. That is, we cannot overpower that thing. Night is introduced as something that presses down physically and emotionally, setting a tone of suffocation rather than peace. There are also words of violence and destruction, expressions such as subtle plow, quote unquote, and serrated shadows, quote unquote, evoke cutting, tearing, and unsettling movement. You know, that it even creates fear. It creates fear for humans. A plow, quote unquote, normally cultivates but here it exacerbates and disturbs. Serrated, quote-unquote, suggests sharp edges, making shadows appear like blades. These words depict night as intrusive and destructive. We also have words of depletion and submission in the poem. Words of depletion and submission are used in the poem. The speaker confesses. We are quoting from the poem again. I stood, drained, submitting like the sand, blood and brine coursing to the roots. The verbs drain and submitting emphasize exhaustion and surrender, combined with bodily images like blood and brine. The diction highlights night's power to sap life. There are words of menace and fear. Phrases like jealous eye, quote unquote, and night children haunt the heart. Night children haunt the heart. This is making reference to those that walk under the night, those that perform evil deeds, like armed robbers, kidnappers, and some other people like that walk under the cover of the night. This gives night a sinister and hostile quality. The word haunt especially evokes supernatural dread, reinforcing an atmosphere of oppression. It reinforces an atmosphere of oppression. The closing lines. This Mr. Cell will yet undo me naked, unbidden, quote unquote. This carry a sense of fragility and inevitability. Undo and naked underscore the speaker's vulnerability before night's power. These are words of helplessness. Now, in conclusion, Soyinka's diction marked by words of weight, violence, depletion, menace, and helplessness transforms night into an oppressive, almost tyrannical force. This choice of language reinforces the theme of humanity's fragility before overpowering natural and unseen forces, making the experience of night both vivid and haunting. You see that the choice of words in the poem is in line with the subject matter, that is, how night creates fear, how it overpowers the poet. So that is the answer to the question that says, how does the poet diction convey the oppressive presence of night? Don't forget, I'm going to leave the link of Exam Ready, my ebook that contains 200 questions and answers, in the description of this video. You can check it to download it. So if you are new on this platform, try and click on the bell icon and the subscribe button so that you'll be part of this class. And whenever any video is produced, you are going to be notified. You are free to share any of my videos on any social media platform. Invite your friends and colleagues to join us. If you have any question, use the comment section and it will be responded to. Let's meet in the next class.